Welcome to the dressing room. Cast of Dressing Room Diaries. This is your call to stage. You have 5 minutes. Dressing Room Diaries.
Hiya, we're your hosts. I'm Joséphine-Fransilja Brookman,
I'm Dumile Sibanda, and this is the Dressing Room Diaries.
a podcast for the delusional, the dramatic, the depressed, the diarists.
Diarists, not diarrhearists.
Although, look, I am gluten intolerant and the anxiety belly before auditions is kind of real.
This is the type of oversharing that you signed up for.
We're actors, creatives, survivors of weekly breakdowns and very questionable self-tapes.
And we started this podcast to talk about what it's like growing up in the industry from inside the dressing room. No, literally, like, we're probably recording this while we have a last-minute self-tape and a minor identity crisis.
No, babe, be honest. Do my shoulders look wide in this trailer?
Fortnightly, or whenever we can be bothered. Who said that? We'll share stories,
Spirals,
survival tips,
and some deeply unqualified wisdom.
whether it's something that we had to learn the hard way or we're still figuring out,
We'll talk about being too young, too emotional, too much.
and how to turn too much into a superpower.
Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry.
And sometimes we shout out the BAFTAs just in case they're listening. Hey.
Hi, BAFTAs. We're free in February.
If you're an actor, a creative, or a beautifully lost soul who doesn't know what the hell they're doing,
Welcome. You're not alone.
we're literally fumbling our way through.
And no one knows what they're doing.
But we'll figure it out, one dressing room breakdown at a time.
But the drama's real, the tears are slightly performative and sponsored by Krylon Tear Stick.
We're using... This is the Dressing Room Diaries.
Join us bi-weekly right here in our dressing room. Shh.
So, how are you doing? Girl, I'm good. I felt a bit anxious, a bit nervous about today. How are you feeling? I'm feeling good. I think feeling kind of dropped in now that I'm here with you. Yeah. But yeah, likewise. It felt like, okay, we're coming in to be kind of vulnerable, to share how we feel about the industry, our journeys, why this. But at the end of the day, like, it is a big calling for the both of us. Like, we talk about it a lot, like how nourishing it feels to talk about the
You know I
industry.
love our chat.
We love it. Oh, good. Yappa. And we will get into it. Oh, yeah. So I hope that translates. That was a big hope of mine. So yeah, I feel good. I feel good today. So this is the Dressing Room Diaries. And in this podcast, bi-weekly, we'll discuss stories about being in the industry, different lessons that we've learned, and we'll also answer some questions from you lovely people. So today's is our debut. I'm really excited to get going.
Should we start off with our journeys?
Yes.
Well, I actually wanted to be a dancer. I didn't know what that would look like, but my mum brought me in to start Stagecoach. And that was really expensive. It was a big thing. It meant that, any hobby that I was doing outside of Stagecoach, we had to stop in order to pay for that one thing. And I really enjoyed it. I did the singing, did the dancing, did the acting, was really afraid of acting, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't like having lines. I just wanted to dance. But then I did a summer course with them and they gave me one line. I was dressed as Santa. I had pillows stuffed underneath my shirt. I don't know what was going on, but I had to just stand on stage and say this one line, and we had all our parents there. And I said this one line and I just heard this roar of laughter, and the feeling of making people laugh just gave me goosebumps, and I've just been chasing that feeling since. What about you?
I similarly acting wasn't my thing in the beginning. I started singing, classical singing, when I was young. I started maybe 7, 8. And for me, it just felt like music was this into emotion and storytelling. You could make someone cry, you can make someone laugh with a song like that. And so I really loved that, but I still felt like there was something transformative missing. I felt like for, you know, for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, however long the song lasted, I felt like I could be with the person telling that story, singing that song. And I loved that. And then the song would end. I'm like, oh, it's me again. Like I want it to be longer. Yeah. So I went into musical theatre. I had a musical theatre scholarship to performing arts school. And still it just felt like there was this thing that was missing at the time, you know. And I ended up auditioning for our performing arts school's acting company under this like fabulous director. He would always wear turtlenecks. Super stoic Swedish man, like sort of clean, like, and he had grey hair. His name was Ezra. Ezra Hjalmarsson, like yes. And I think he said to me, like, I'd done a monologue and someone had cried in the class. I was kind of like, oh my gosh, like, guys, like, did I kind of do something? Like, oh my God, what's going on? And he'd said, like, why don't you try for drama school? And I truly didn't know anything about drama school. I wanted,
Me
like,
neither.
it wasn't even a thing. Like, I wanted to do English literature and history. Like, that was I was like, that's what I'm going to do.
I studied up north, right?
Yeah.
And when we went into college, still drama school wasn't a thing. Then they told us we have to choose between uni and drama school. We're like, what is that?
Yeah.
And then they told us we can only go to the ones up north because the ones in the south want older people, more experienced in life. So the options that we were sort of presented was there. And then Dave, one of my drama teachers said, this one, Bristol or Vic Theatre School, is my favorite one. Like everyone that does amazingly goes there and they saw. And I remember just putting that down as just a challenge, as just and not because I had an extra space in my what was it? UCAS. Not believing I'd actually do anything with that, but
I think it was similarly like, and also now there's a lot of things like Open Door and other things that mean you don't necessarily like have to pay, or they can help support with drama school. But you know, back in our time, when we were auditioning, you had to pay like £25 and upward for each drama school, on top of traveling to each drama school. And I just didn't have the money like that. I didn't have the funds. So I auditioned to 3 drama schools: Guildhall, Lambda, and Bristol Vic. And I kind of thought, okay, I'll get to go on a gap year. Like I'll figure out something to do in that time because I won't get in. And I remember going in on the first day of Bristol, and they had the 3rd year students in, and you could like go up and talk to them. And they were so lovely. And it was just like, it looked like a little house, and it was so quaint and so cute. I was kind of like, okay, maybe this is the place that I'm meant to begin. And from then, we've stuck to it.
I literally saw Joséphine. I'm a year above, right? And I was like, that's going to be my best friend. Literally. I could just see you with your cute afro. You were blonde at the time.
I was blonde at the time.
And I was like, I can just tell that's going to be my bestie. Yes. And then we lived together, helped each other through my 3rd year, navigating agents, meetings, COVID. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we were the COVID
years. Like we went through so much, but I literally had the best time because I was doing it with you.
Yeah, it really was the best time. Like there's one day that I have such a fond memory of us staying up until like 4 a.m. Like emailing casting directors, and it was like fervent. I've never experienced, like I think I used the energy of like my energy source for the rest of my life. In that evening, we stayed up till 4 a.m, emailing everybody we could think of. Not one response, mind you. I mean, like sending an email at like 3 a.m. is probably kind of
a bit unhinged.
Yeah, like I wouldn't. It's kind of
don't do that.
Don't do that. Like learn from us.
But and from then it's been like navigating this weird and wonderful industry with you, and it's been the best.
Love it, Bessie. Thank you so much for sending in your questions. We're going to get a few
today.
We're going to get a few today. Have you ever turned down a role, and what was the reason?
That is a very good question. Thank you for sending that through. I have turned down a couple of roles for different reasons. I think sometimes when you're in the beginning of your career, it can feel really scary to say no to things. But no is one of the most important things you can say to advocate for yourself. So if I haven't been able to work out the schedule and I was going to be overworking myself, or if the money wouldn't really make sense in that, like I would be spending a lot on living costs touring or doing the show and not making that money back, I've said no. Sometimes if the script didn't necessarily align with the way that I like to live my life, I wouldn't feel comfortable exploring that or being that vulnerable in that way, I say no. Period. And I haven't, at this point regretted it. So
Period. Well, I had a moment where I had auditioned for a job, didn't get it. Then months later, they asked for a cover. But then I had just got an offer from another job, which I really admired the writer. I followed the writer's work. I was going to be working alongside some cool people. And it was a completely new script. So I was really drawn to the fact that like I'll be starting something completely new. I'll be the one sort of navigating that rather than going for the other role where I think it would have fed me differently. So I went with that. And I think those are the moments where you think, oh, what's for me will be for me. Like what's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's mine will come around.
Yeah.
And making those choices, I really stood on, let me go for the new writing, let me go for the writing I really admire for.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think in terms of having said no to things, I remember, and I know you remember this time because I was so annoying about it. Yeah. There was a particular play I wanted to do, and everybody in my life knows what this play is. Yeah. And it was based on a book, and I'd prayed for months, like, and I hadn't worked for maybe like 4 months at the time. And I said to myself, if I'm having to work my like 3 part-time jobs, like that's fine, as long as I get this theatre job. Yeah. As long as I get this theatre job. And I ended up auditioning for the theatre job. And it would have been like 2 scenes, but I loved the show, so I was fine with getting it. And then at the same time, I was auditioning for the play that I ended up doing. And I had this feeling, I was like, I'm going to get both and I don't know what to do. And I remember lamenting and crying to everybody. I was like, I don't know what to do. I prayed for this other show for months and now I'm taking this offer through. And I spoke with my agent about it. I spoke with my mom. I spoke with Dumile. I spoke to everybody that would listen. And then finally it came to the conclusion that the show that I had, imagined being part of actually would nourish me in a completely different way, as you said. Yeah. And so I ended up doing that show. And it was so funny because the director of the show that I'd auditioned for had emailed the director of the show that I was working, was like, okay, so who she's playing? Like thinking that I maybe have like a line or something. Yeah. And he was like, oh, well, the director was like, this is Anita. And the director said, why on earth was she struggling so hard to
make the decision?
To make the decision. But, it's like sometimes the no's are difficult. Sometimes there are things that you're banking on and there are dreams that you have. And then other opportunities come that align better with the plans that the grand plans that one has. So, yeah.
I think a lot about the people that you've met as well in that process and like incredible people. The show was incredible. Please bring it back.
Please.
Vote for it. Black British Awards. Like we need, it was incredible.
Thanks, Diva. Thanks for you.
Okay, next question.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting typecasted in projects. How do I break out of that to show the range I know I have? Ooh. So I think, firstly, I love that I know you're really advocating for yourself, and I love that. But in this industry, I don't think I've played one thing because I don't think everyone's writing the same thing. So I don't think you have to worry as much in the industry in drama school, I was typecast. In drama school, they have sort of like, I don't know whether it's because I'm a black woman and a young black woman, they have like maybe a small range of like material that's fit for us, or like a knowledge of a small range of material that's fit for us. So then it was quite easy to just put us in those roles. But in the industry, I don't think everything is written the same. It's hard, but if you feel like you're getting the similar roles all the time, then it's up to you, I think, to find a way to make them different.
Yeah.
I think if you love playing around with your range, if you love working with your voice, your body, whatever, and maybe you're a character actor, I don't know, then I think you will naturally bring something out every single time differently.
Yeah, I think like human beings are really complex, and on surface level, there may be things that are really similar. Like you might play a mean girl in like Legally Blonde, and then you might play a mean girl in Clueless. On the surface, they may seem really similar. It's that like kind of Y2K, 90s, girly pop kind of style character. But actually, when you do the work, you sit down and you assess their psychology. If that's a human being, you know, there are going to be different things that make them tick. There are going to be different reasons as to why they behave that way. So there might be behavior, but in terms of impetus for said behavior, that could be completely different. You know, you might play one character who seems like really arrogant and knows what they're talking about all the time, and that might be the whole truth of that character. Like they are arrogant and they know what they're talking about the other time. And then there's, you know, might be another character that has those same kind of qualities. Yeah. But when you do the work, you're like, actually, I'm looking at the script and this person, you know, got kicked out of school, or, you know, and they've had to have street smart in that way. And that's where that, you know, bravery and like unfading belief in self has come from. So it's finding where that truth sits. And although on surface, when you do the first, you know, read of the script, it might feel like, oh, this is the same character again, another one, you know, but also like, it's great to have your foot in the door in that way. And to be pigeonholed may feel frustrating early on in your career, but you're in a top 1% of people who are booking work and are actually getting to show that range, period, you know? So it's using any opportunity you can that you feel that aligns with the way you see the world, like, you know, and morally you feel safe in, you know, exploring that work. Go for it and just play, and it will be different. You'll surprise yourself.
If you can't control the roles that you get, you can definitely control the journey that you take them. Lean into your instincts as well. Yes. All right, another question. Actually, I'm going to bring out my phone for this one because it was a long email.
I love it.
Oh, okay, ready?
Yes.
We have just finished a text project and I had the best time on it. I felt reflected in the show and so connected. I felt I did my best work. As I put a lot of effort into doing the work, and I'm so proud of what my group, sorry, I'm dyslexic, group had accomplished, but now it's ended. It's like all of my energy has been drained. I'm struggling to get excited about each day again. Oh.
That's quite a dilemma. Yeah, I think because of the excitement that all of us have about the work and about the art, when we're in it, we don't think about pacing ourselves or pouring into ourselves. I think, and whilst it is a difficult lesson, it's a really good one, and it's a good one to have early on, and a realization to have early on of, like, do the work, yes. Do the work as hard as you can, as best as you can, but don't give too much of yourself, and find things that allow you to pull back into yourself. Like, it might be swimming after a show. It might be, when I did my first theatre tour, it was quite an emotionally hard show. And it was exploring like the cost of living crisis and what it's like to be unhoused as a young person. And at the end of every show, I felt so drained. And I started having like a really long, like Blanche de Bois level showers after each show. And just to remind myself that I was back in my body, like physically, like and like somatically, not that I know lots about somatic therapy, but feeling where your body begins and ends because the water is hitting it felt really grounding. And so it's finding those kinds of things and activities, and like some would say rituals, that bring you back to self. I think that will help you, in that journey of burning out and saying goodbye to that character,
I also think that, like, it's the post-show blues as well. Like, it's so normal.
Yeah.
We spend so much time working on something, and especially when you love your cohort as well, like, sometimes you can't fathom the idea that you're no longer going to work the same dynamic again and again and again. So it's never the end.
No.
It's never the end of that. Like, you can always see those people. You're in drama school, so you'll see them tomorrow.
Yeah, like...
But, like, you can always talk about him and laugh again and think about all the funny, crazy moments. And look forward to the next thing. And I know it's hard to get excited about that, but, like, I know when you feel so connected to a character and so excited about, like, a specific job or a show, that you may think the next one might not be as exciting, but you know that material's coming. And to just sort of, I don't know, find what you enjoyed in that show and bring yourself differently to the new one. Like, you might not be the same actor with the same process, with the same people, but if you think of it as a fresh start, rather than thinking of just the end, it might help you transition to the next project.
Yeah. And like, continue to do what you're doing, like email, like talk about it, share the way that you feel, because so many people feel this. I remember a director I worked with when I was doing Macbeth said to me, and this is probably not true, like theatre, like there's so many things that just get made up and you're like, I believe it, I'm not going to Google that, but that's true. And it's like the adrenaline that you go through during each show is like allegedly, and I have not fact checked this, like, sorry, Techni's child, is like similar or, equitable maybe to being in a small car crash. So like, imagine like every single day you're going through the motion of like a minor bump, like that's a lot for your nervous system to be going through. So I think, being kind with yourself and being honest with yourself and taking that time to rest. Like, if you need to then like bed rot for like 4 days, I say 4 days, then I'd be doing like 2 weeks. If you want to, like, if you need that after a show is done, you take that later and you order your Uber Eats, period, and you don't feel shame.
And you live your life. Yes.
Right. Okay, one more.
One more.
Okay. I'm in my first year and I'm currently working with a guy on a romantic scene. He is not my usual type. We have completely different backgrounds, are interested in different things, and he never really made an effort to get to know me ever since starting. My first impression of him was that he was arrogant and privileged, but ever since working with him, I have been feeling nervous around him. During this one steamy scene, I feel so connected to him and everything literally melts away around us. I feel like there is so much chemistry there, and I know people see it too. I think he feels it, but I'm unsure. I rarely crush like this. What do you think I should do?
Ooh, I should have brought my fan. Okay.
Oh, I don't like half of me is like, you should just tell him, girl, just tell him, or wait till the next house party.
Don't kill me.
And then the other half is like, stay away, stay away. The romance is in drama school.
Yeah.
Like, I know one couple, I don't know if that might be, that will have a potential of getting married.
Yeah.
The rest, car crash.
And we want to be at the wedding.
We want to be at the wedding. But also, it's your life, it's experiences. Like, I think what you're feeling might be cabin fever and really good writing. When the writers write real good, like, you start to really, I don't know, that just sort of sparks like all these emotions and stuff like that. But
sometimes you're in love with Romeo. Oh yeah, it's not the guy playing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like sometimes it can get confusing, but it's also like, kind of pat yourselves on the back that you guys have created, like in your scenes, such an emotional life that you are now like, you're shocked by it. I think that's a great place to be in, but I think it is like, and it's something that comes with time and the more experiences you have of learning to separate character from self in that way. And like, yes, there's a romantic scene, and yes, you feel a connection together in its intent, but you knew who this person was before you did the show. And like, yes, yeah, you might even be in turn two. Like, you know who this person is. You know your opinions of them were afterwards. So like, I don't know if, yeah, I you know, I think live in it, you know.
Live in it, enjoy it. Like you said, it will get old.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, if he doesn't continue to make efforts to get to know you, then you probably
There's
know
your
that's
answer.
not, there's your answer. But that being said, protect yourself, protect your feelings, but also live in it. This one's a confusing one because when you're young, you just gotta.
Especially drama school. We were in drama school. Yeah, 18. Yeah. You know, the average age is probably around like 23, 24. Most people are auditioning several times. Especially if you're coming from where we're coming from, of like, we were not hanging out with loads of guys. I went to an all-girls Catholic school. The only guy I hung out with was my dad. It can be quite confusing. A lot of these romantic scenes can be quite confusing. And I think there's also this assumption that you're at the same stage in life as everybody else. So I think it's also, yeah, experience and learn and have these connections but don't like pathologize it or like try and deep, oh, did he do the scene like this because he likes me, blah, 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 blah. It's your job. Yeah. And that means two things. That means have fun and like play. Also, like, don't, you know, protect your heart in that way, and don't internalize a connection based on, as you said, good writing.
I hope that answers your question or your dilemma.
Thank you so much for tuning in to our first ever episode of Dressing Room Diaries and sending in your wonderful questions and dilemmas. Make sure to subscribe, like, share, comment. But before we go on stage, I've got notes for you. So my note for you today is, let love be the reason this week, not pressure. And my note for you, this week, I want you to celebrate small wins, even if it's just showing up for yourself.
Thanks, girl.
Dressing Room Diaries.
It can't.